Wednesday, July 6th, 2022 to order at 6 p.m. May we have the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Okay. Carol, may I have a roll call, please?
Yes, Chairman. Commissioner Frank Schoenbeck.
Here.
Commissioner Heather Muller, excused. Commissioner Terrell Moore.
Present.
Vice Chair Judy Bory.
Here.
Commissioner D.L. Kine. Here. Commissioner Luciano Bootson.
Here.
Chairman Wayne Standage.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum of 6.
Okay. The commission may at this time take single action on any or all items listed as consent agenda items. Any member of the commission may remove an item from the consent agenda for discussion and cause a separate vote on the matter later in the agenda. Do I have a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Park and Rec Commission accept the agenda as presented and approve the minutes from the June 1st, 2020 regular meeting.
Second.
Okay. Carol, you've got that? Frank and Luciano?
I do.
Okay.
Commissioner.
May I call for a roll call vote?
Commissioner Luciano Bootson.
Yes.
Commissioner Frank Schoenbeck.
Yes.
Commissioner Heather Muller is excused. Commissioner Terrell Moore.
Yes.
Vice Chair Judy Bory.
Yes.
Commissioner D.L. Kine.
Yes.
Chairman Wayne Standage.
Yes.
Thank you. It's unanimous.
Okay. Do any commission members have something they have attended and would like to share?
I went to the 4th of July festival at the park, got to see Jamie there, and Jamie fortunately had her back turned to me when I was going to go see the police chief, who I meant to have a conversation with. About 25 feet away from the police chief, just as I made eye contact, my foot made contact with a crack in the sidewalk.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, no foul, no injury, no nothing, not even a drop of blood anywhere, but I had my humility lesson of the week that evening, and I told the chief, stay tuned for the 8 o'clock show, there's a 2-drink minimum. But I did go to the 4th of July festival, and boy, there's a lot of happy families there. Mm-hmm. What really struck me, and has struck me with a number of our events that I've gone to, is how many happy families the Park and Recreation Department makes. It's quite outstanding. So well done there. And I'm back to the gym, so I see that 3 days a week too. But the festival was outstanding, absolutely outstanding.
Good.
Okay, anybody else?
So I know it sounds crazy, but my parents have a tradition. We watch the 4th of July, but we do it from my parents' house in their driveway because one, we know a ton of people need parking and like space there. So we watch it. It's probably the best show that I've seen. Like that finale,
Yeah.
I said something that I can't repeat on a recorded line because it just shocked me. I was like, whoa, like I really was expecting it to be a little bit light with fireworks, like just with supply. And I was like, no, this is a normal show. And then it was just amazing. So I appreciate it. And I heard a lot of good feedback. Everyone always is like, we're going to go down there. And I was like, my parents, it's the driveway tradition, but we always appreciate the fireworks.
No, it was beautiful. Just beautiful. Thanks again for doing that for us, for this community.
Well, my wife and ours was from the front porch. Because we got a nice angled view to the southwest. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Number 6 is staff report. Director Langenbach, could you please give us a staff report?
Yes. Oh, this looks different. Okay. Oh, is this different? I'll use this one. Okay, so I'm actually gonna, I'll give a few things on parks, but we have a lot of presenters today, so I'm gonna keep it pretty short and sweet. Jamie is gonna share in her program and events update. She'll share more about 4th of July and give you some more information on what's coming up. But we started a new budget year, so we're working hard to kind of get projects started early this year. We really struggled the last year of getting projects. Well, we had plenty of funding. The problem was getting people to be able to do them in our time frame for the budget year, or to be able to deliver by our June 30th deadline. So that was a little bit of a struggle at the end, but we're anxious to get started. We have a really healthy budget. At your next meeting, when we will have a little bit more room, we'll bring what our budget looks like and give you some of the top projects that we'll be doing throughout the facilities. Right now, it is a little bit slower in the parks just because it's so warm. So our weekend events and things like that settled down a little bit, which is really nice for our parks team because we are operating a little short-staffed still and anxious to kind of get that back up and going. But it's been kind of a nice chance just to keep things going and to be working on events and some of these wrap-up projects that we're doing. You mentioned the Multi-Gen Center and the HVAC, I think is about 99.9% complete. I think they have a couple of controller trainings that they're doing and a couple of other little minor things, but we've got full functioning, 2 really nice new AC units, and so that was a huge project, took almost a year to get that done. But I think customers should be really happy about, we're not gonna have some of our climate struggles that we were having before. And
It's never been too bad the times I've been there.
yeah, I don't think it's been real bad. We've been mostly worried that it was gonna go down just because it was operating at such a low capacity. So we're glad that that got completed for this summer. I am gonna move into National Parks and Rec Month, and actually I'm gonna get our little video queued up. But I did want to mention, I don't think it'll start without me, nope. So we did present this to the mayor, did a proclamation on Tuesday night for National Parks and Recreation Month. So the National Rec and Park Association every July, seems like the craziest time for Arizona because it's so hot out that would be National Parks and Rec Month. But it is 4th of July, so we feel like that's pretty fitting. And so our marketing team has a big list of plans for getting out the word about how we rise up. So I think the theme for this year was how Parks and Recreation rises up. And, after the last couple of years of COVID, I think we're some of the folks that kept things going and kept trying to have connections for our community. And now it's time where we're able to kind of be fully functioning again. And we're going to be taking this next year to get fully staffed and fully projects completed. So I'm going to start this, and then if there's anything Jamie wants to add at the end, she can.
Every day, Parks and Recreation comes together to bring you quality programs, people, and places. All through the month of July, we will be celebrating our Parks and Recreation. This month, rise up and stand with your Parks and Recreation! Parks and Recreation has a long history of building and providing amenities to help aid in our community's health and fitness. The Multi-Gen Center is built to provide a variety of health, social, and fitness programs with over 25 group fitness classes, cardio equipment, and indoor track, gymnasium, climbing wall. There is something for everybody. Parks and Recreation offers many outdoor parks and trails. Most notably, our Silly Mountain has a plethora of trails that will take you winding around the mountain, seeing the beauty that all of AJ has to offer. From toddlers to seniors, we strive to provide programs for all ages. For our senior citizens, we provide a hot meal throughout the week. We offer exercise and social programs, including line dancing and bingo. We have something for all. During the summer, fall, and spring break camps, we keep kids engaged with open gym programs and sport programs when they are out of school. We offer sport programming from parent-toddler classes all the way up to adult leagues, including softball, golf, and basketball. Known for our outstanding community events, we offer something every month, sometimes every weekend of the month. Our community comes together with strong partnerships, and we produce one-of-a-kind events such as Lost Dutchman Days, Lost Dutchman Marathon, Festival of the Superstitions, Blues and Brews, and 4th of July. There are 9 community parks, including our newest, which went to the dogs, Dutchman Dog Park. We continue to work on park improvements and will be concentrating on Superstition Shadows Park and renovations to Silly Mountain. But it takes a lot of important people to rise up to deliver parks and recreation essentials. The recreation team is made up of those working maybe their first job to those that have made a career out of recreation. The park team cares for parks and facilities, working long, hot hours to make sure the pool is operating and your parks are well maintained. They are often the first crew that is out in the morning and sometimes the last one leaving at the end of the evening. Our rangers patrol our facilities to educate and enforce rules to make sure that you are safe while using our facility. We have a team of admin professionals who are really behind the scenes and often seen. Parks and Recreation is the start of many shared experiences and memories. Celebrate us this month and share your stories using the hashtag RiseUpJuly. Join us this month as we stand up, rise up, and celebrate your Parks and Recreation! Can we play? Yes!
So that will be, has that already gone out on today? Today on our Facebook. Matthew McNulty in the back, who you guys see here little glimpses of. He's definitely one of the major producers behind many of our videos, but that one in particular. So they did a great job on that.
That is
Any-
really nice.
Yeah.
Very
It
first
was.
place.
Very cute.
Very first place.
Anything else, Jamie, on Parks and Rec month? Okay.
Could we get a copy of that for the chamber? You know, because they run that
Yeah, I think
Loop-
it's a video
type
link.
thing.
I mean, it's a YouTube, isn't it?
on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, we'll make sure you get the link.
Okay.
So that's the Park and Recreation gang there.
Our Parks and, what's that?
Our Parks and Recreation gang.
That's right, for sure. And then we're going to move into our update on events and activities. But before we do, I do have one other little quick slideshow to share with you. If you watched the council meeting, you heard our little presentation. So Jamie Sullivan, our recreation superintendent, we celebrated 25 years of full-time service with us earlier in the month of June at a council meeting. And so Jamie was recognized by the mayor and the city manager for her 25 years of full-time service. But as I shared at that time, she started long before that. We have worked together for about 31-ish years, starting part-time. And I wish I could say I was as young as Jamie was when I started, but I wasn't. And it's been a pleasure working with Jamie. But we put together a few little snapshots of Jamie when she started with us as a part-timer and moving into her full-time job with the city. She's worked with the city in many capacities, but one of the biggest was through the whole design and construction phase of our multi-generational center. Jamie was our first facilities manager, and she pretty much ran the show there and brought on a really great team, helped to make sure that that center, not only is it beautiful and really well maintained, but I think the number one goal we've always had was that our customers would feel welcome, our members and the people who came through would feel welcome, and that they'd care a lot more about customer service than how it looked. And we've been really happy with the way it's been maintained over the last 17 years? Oh my gosh. It's still beautiful. I mean, people are amazed at the facility, and that really is a tribute to the staff there and to Jamie's leadership. She brought about a bunch of new events through the Multi-Gen Center, our wellness event. The staff have come up with and grown. The Mad Science Night is one of the most well-attended youth events that we have. Our families love that, and it's, you know, just a big science fair style type of event, and it grows bigger and better every year. Our staff really enjoy putting that together. Jamie was Young Professional of the Year in 2011 she was recognized by our state association. I think one of the biggest things about Jamie that many of you already know is that, you know, she is successful because she connects with our staff and on many levels. And so definitely as a professional and in the workplace and as a leader, but also outside of work, making sure that they always know that she cares about them and she's invested in them. I was mean at the council meeting and I shared Jamie's hike up Flatiron. I, by the way, have never done Flatiron before, so I will say that. I was so proud of Jamie, but she has told how she feels like she almost died. She didn't. She did fine. She's super competitive, as many know, and she's always willing to dress up for any kind of a cause. So this was a little, in fact, Matthew, I should have put some of the pictures of him in here. We did an entire photo shoot to try to get money from Ben & Jerry's. I'm pretty sure we didn't get any money. Our then grants coordinator, Roger Hacker, got us to do a lot of crazy stuff, and Jamie was the star of the show as usual. Ooh, and there's Jill. How fitting. Matt is kind of over here in the corner.
Yeah, I see him there.
Yeah. Oh. She loves dressing up. Halloween is by far her favorite holiday. But I think also her family was able to join us on her presentation night. She's a great mom and wife and sister and all those great things. One of the things I'd like to share is just that Jamie, during times when it was really tough, I mean, we've had tough times before, but COVID is definitely something that a lot of people really weren't sure how to handle, and a lot of unknown during that time. But Jamie made sure that we were connecting with our community however we had to. So none of our folks got to go home and sit at home or do work from home. It's really hard to do recreation remotely. So we really tried hard to make sure that we were bringing opportunities to our community. And her most popular thing was rock painting. So many of our things that we offered during COVID actually really took off later. So Science with Jake, Jamie's rock painting for sure is definitely a popular thing. I think we've had events where we invite the public to come to the MGC and do a rock painting night. What was your biggest night, Jamie, of attendees? Yeah. So 100 people to come and paint. Many of you shared your rock painting skills. We were very proud of you. And then Jamie is also very involved in the opening of the dog park. So was a part of that. And then her team has been a part of all of our ribbon cutting and grand opening, coming up with working with our citizen group to talk about rules and work with our different teams. So we just wanted to appreciate Jamie one more time and give her a big round of applause and thank you. I'm not going to make her speak again, but if you'd like to hear her speech, you can watch the council meeting. She did a wonderful job. And with that, I will turn it over to Jamie for the rest of the recreation or events and activities report.
Okay, the reason why I was been here for so long is they made it really hard to leave. So I thank the city and my department for that. But speaking of rocks, I was so excited when I was on vacation and Liz texted me pictures with you guys in your homework, and I can't tell you how excited. I don't know why it made me that excited, but it did. But I think you guys all did a great job. I invite some of you to come to our classes, but for different reasons, but I really appreciate you guys. And there will be more homework. I'll get to that later tonight. But couple of quick updates in the world of recreation. Our Civic Rec software did launch. We are doing very well with that. We've received some positive feedback. Our staff are kind of still learning some of the back ends and working out the kinks. But we think it is a very user-friendly software system. In June, so I'm going to give a little history about the month that just finished up. We offered 55 different programs that could be registered for, and we had over 1,000 participants in those programs. So anywhere from our tap classes to swim lessons, to painting classes. That accumulated, we offered over 55 of them, including our summer camp. So there's a lot of people participating. We're pretty excited about that. Although it's not in June, we just did finish up one of our biggest events of the year, and that was the 4th of July. You guys already know that it came with its challenges this year. I think that I've heard this said before, but it's the recreation way to have to do it differently. And that we just got back in from COVID. We had a good year, we had a good run, and then it was like, nope, we got to change it up. And we had a lot of great folks that just went with it. Our Parks Department had to roll out 30 light towers when it's normally 5. We had 3 different fields to have to make sure they were clean and safe and manageable. Our PD came out in full force. We had Arizona Rangers that were out there. Our fire department, I'd never seen so many firefighters and EMT, like everybody just came out in full force to support this event. The school, every step of the way, they knew that this was going to be difficult for us, so they helped. They, had meetings with us and said, how can we help make this work so it's not, too out of our way? And fortunately, it's in the same address, so if people still got there, they would eventually find us. We put a lot of marketing out, a lot of efforts out to try to let the public know how things has changed, but overall, and yes, we had at the 3 weeks before, Fireworks Productions Company called us and they said, hey, we got fireworks in. And so we were able to actually offer the exact amount of shells that we had been before in the past. It was not a smaller show. So we were very fortunate for that. We had a great turnout of vendors. Usually 4th of July is really hard and the heat and nobody wants to come out. But not only did we have some good food vendors, we also had some good participation from our community as well. So that was exciting. The band was rocking and the fireworks were booming. We were extremely grateful to Republic Services. They sponsored our fireworks show and they have for, I think, the last 12 years. And we are grateful. The show that we have and the, fabulous nature that it is due largely to their support to keep it going and to keep it as big as it is. So we appreciate that. You guys do have in front of you a bingo board that is part of our Rise Up July. I know a lot of you guys have a hard time getting out there. Not Frank, he's everywhere. But if you need a little motivation, you guys have a bingo board. Once you complete that bingo board, you can take that into the Multi-Gen Center for prizes. We will have that board out on social media. You can give it to your family, to friends, encourage them to participate. We are using the hashtag RiseUpJuly, but our regular hashtag all year round, all the time is AJ Plays. So if you're out there, if you're on social media and you're hanging out with us, use that hashtag for us. Quick numbers, our Facebook reach went up 35% this month from last month, and our Instagram, or Insta, as the cool kids say, went up 280% in June versus the month of May. So we're still growing our social media. 4th of July had the largest interactions and insights with when we were posting about 4th of July, followed by any post about the dog park. It didn't matter if it was a reminder about the dog park, here are safety rules for dogs, due to rain, we have closure. The dog park, people love dogs. So, and positive, lots of positive stuff. And then our 4th of July video, we were able to live stream. We're going to work on perfecting that a little bit more because we know now there is a need. We had over 3,000 views from 8 different countries. Nice. So that was exciting to see. So it might have just been for 3 to 6 seconds, but hey, we're going to take it as we have national exposure. So that's exciting. Coming up in July, so we're in July, but we are full-fledged. We've got our pool open, our summer camps are going, and we've got movies in the park in July, and we will also start gearing up. We start doing a lot of heavy planning for the fall. Will all start to happen right now. So that is your recreation update. If you guys have any questions.
How was your birthday?
My birthday was fabulous. That was May, though, but yes, I do celebrate all month long. Probably carried over a little into June. That might have been why I wasn't here, but yeah, thank you for asking, Judy.
Any other questions?
I do have a question. So, it showed that attend the 4th of July event. If we watch it on live stream, can we go and check that
I will
off
count
too?
that.
Yeah?
If you supported us by liking it and sharing it,
Yeah.
it had over 35 different shares. I can find out if one of those was you. So, but yeah, I'll let you count that on your bingo board.
All right.
Somebody
You
posted
know.
a picture on Facebook of our fireworks, and we said, "That's a great shot. Where were you at the event?" And they're like, "We were in our backyard." Again, but you know what? Just like you said, Dee, it's nice that it's such a great show that our surrounding community can actually watch it from their own home, and that we watched it from our rooftops growing up. So.
We have friends that come from Gilbert to watch our show. That's like the 5th year in a row. They're just like, "Can we come to the driveway?" I was like, "Yep, come on down."
Come on down.
And they're like, "Yours is the best show. Like, we're not gonna bother with Gilbert or Tempe or anywhere else. We come out to you." And I'm like, "Come on down." I'll let them know that everyone comes for it.
The only thing by watching it from your home is you do miss some of the great, we have some fountain shots that come up. We didn't have as many ground basins this year, but, so if there's ever a dull moment and you're watching it from somewhere else, it really isn't dull for the people that are there. It's just for you guys who, don't fight the traffic. So those that fight the traffic, they get a little bit extra when they're actually there.
We could see a little bit of it. I'm like, oh,
The top of it.
yeah, I'm like, they're getting a good show
Over
right
the
there.
top.
Okay, so speaking of 4th of July, we're going to bring up Dave Butler, who is our South Parks team. He's our park supervisor for the south side of all of our wonderful facilities and parks. And I'm going to let him introduce himself in a minute, but definitely Dave gets a lot of credit for 4th of July. There's a lot of new, as Jamie said, just a lot of creative ideas and how could we make it work in a different location. And Dave definitely was very involved with all of that. So sometimes they don't get quite the same recognition and see folks and hear all the good stuff that's going on. But so I'm glad he's able to be here today with us.
Good evening. My name's Dave Butler. I'm the South Team Park Maintenance Supervisor. I've been with the city now for 9 years, going on 10, somewhere in that ballpark. Prior to that, I was in landscape construction maintenance for about 12, 15 years prior to that, before coming here. I've loved every minute of it, for the most part. Working with Liz and Jamie, Jill, all these folks are awesome. So look forward to another 9 or 10, however long we can make it last. So, so I'll just run through some of these here. This is Superstition Shadows Park. This is our biggest park on the south side. 7 acres of turf. That's kind of our baby. That's where the whole South Team reports to in the morning. That's the biggest focus we have. We are really excited this year. We're working on a lot of renovations to the park. The biggest one's redoing the tennis courts. We're adding some ADA walkway, LED lighting, new restroom. I'm sure I'm leaving some stuff out, but there's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of new renovations that we're really excited to work on down there that have been coming for a long time. It's all part of the grant through Land and Water Conservation Fund. So we're hoping to have that done probably first part of the year, give or take. So that's the big thing down there. Also, we have the aquatic center down there. Obviously, it's a pool, which 3-4 months out of the year is the biggest focus for all of our staff on the south side. We've done a lot of renovations there over the past couple of years. All new plaster, all new deck. This year, we're working on a new slide decking and stair leading up to the deck for the stairs. Lots of smaller things, secondary sanitation system, and just minor updates to the interior. Like we're doing artificial turf this year. So some smaller updates that are coming to the aquatic center also. That's probably the biggest thing at the aquatic center is the stair deck, and I'm sure Jill knows how bad we need that. It's been coming apart for a while, and we've really pushed it out as far as we could, but now we have to update that and have to replace that. So some of the other stuff on the south side, obviously Little League is down there. Focal Point, Flatiron Park is probably one that we forgot to add in here, but
That is Flatiron Park,
That
sorry.
is
I forgot to tell
Flatiron in
you.
the middle.
It is.
It's not the
It's-
greatest.
It's not the greatest
There's
shot.
another picture of Flatiron though, so.
Okay.
I like it because it's like lit and pretty.
It does look very pretty. I like that.
It was a test, Dave.
Right.
So just some kind of the smaller areas. The other thing that we maintain on the south side is also all of the right-of-way and landscaped areas throughout the city. So anything that's landscaped, we maintain. And if it's not us, we manage a contractor that maintains those areas for us. I want to say there's 15 sites total, and it's things that you might drive by every day and not even realize that we're taking care of. So the right-of-way landscaping on Plaza Drive or landscaping along Phelps is us. Even some areas in Arroyo Verde and Renaissance Point, we maintain wash areas and landscape areas in there. So there's quite a bit down there that we take care of or manage a contractor that takes care of. And then obviously also Adjournment Dog Park. So that's brand new for us also. I know that you guys are well aware of how that went, and we are super excited to have it. We think it's an awesome park, and we really look forward to hopefully keeping it up and maintaining it as best we can and working out some of the watering issues and things like that. But after the first couple of monsoon storms we've had, I think it has already shown how well the design was on it to route water around and not hold it for a week and not be the downtown lake anymore. So we look forward to that. And one of the last things I wanted to talk about was special events. So obviously on the south side of town, we have 4th of July at the high school. We have Blues and Brews, Festival of Superstitions, all the other mid-size events that we do at Flatiron Park, the holiday event. So what we do is we manage the setup, the cleanup, the tear down, all of the things that go into the just having the event itself. So putting up barricades, cleaning the parks, making sure that everything looks like there was no event there when we're done with it. So that's kind of the parks end of the special events, is that we kind of just come in, set it up, disappear, let the event happen, and then come back and clean it up afterwards. So I think that's it. And with that, you guys have any questions?
How are you doing for staffing?
We're almost there.
Yeah?
We're down one full-time park maintenance worker right now.
How's the splash pad doing there at Flatiron? Is it coming along okay?
It's running really well now. We've when we first put it in, we had a few issues that we had run into, but since then I don't think we've had any issues with it since we made a few minor changes to it. So
Nothing this summer.
Good.
Nothing this summer.
yeah, let's not
No beans.
jinx ourselves, but we haven't
Well, I'm
had.
just looking at the center picture and I'm going, oh gee, I wonder how that's doing.
Yeah. It's very well utilized.
Yeah, it's used even in the middle of wintertime. We go out there and there's people running through it in the middle of December. I don't understand it, but
And then Dave's being a little bit modest when he went to the Dutchman Dog Park slide. So Dave is very heavily involved in the entire construction project. He really was our main contact with the construction team and our project manager, and just being there for a lot of the day-to-day. And then solving a lot of the problems is it's hard going through the 90-day maintenance period, I think, because our guys do such a good job of maintaining facilities. It's kind of hard having somebody else there and knowing that we really kind of have to have a hands-off approach because what we do can affect warranties and all that kind of stuff. But there are a couple times where, Dave has stepped in to kind of say, we got to do it a certain way. So Dave's been super critical to the dog park being built and then obviously through maintenance of it. So thanks. Appreciate all that you've done.
Liz is too kind. So.
Dave, how many guys are on your crew?
Nobody's gonna.
5, 6, 5.
5 or
5
6?
plus you. Oh, you're going to have 6 though,
6,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
There will be 6.
Well, obviously you're busy.
We,
Yeah, a lot to cover.
I like what you've been doing down the Meridian on the main drag there.
On the median, yeah.
that has been a fun project.
I was waiting for a word.
Spelled challenging wrong.
I think I mispronounced challenging, but we've enjoyed it, so.
Okay.
Were you going to be adding some equipment to Superstition Shadows some exercise type things, or?
There is a exercise circuit, but I believe that is actually next year.
Right.
I think we planned on that for next year.
And it is part of the grant, but it's a 3-year, we have 3 years to spend the money, and so the city's kind of budgeted a portion each year, and our priority is really that tennis court needs to get redone, and obviously a restroom. It's been down for like, we'll be demolishing it very soon,
In the next couple of weeks, we'll hopefully tear down the existing restroom.
and then the new stuff will be coming in once that gets in, and so, but just to stop people from worrying, you know, it's just a pain in general, so.
$1 a piece for a shot with a sledgehammer
Right.
at the old restaurant?
Skaters
I
love
mean,
that.
it's not a terrible idea. I'm sure we could make a couple dollars on
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
I'm sure some of our staff would enjoy knocking it down also. So
All right, well, if you don't have any other questions, thank you, Dave.
thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna cue my next little presentation here. So we're gonna bring up Jill Ruott, and, oh, what, did I close your presentation? Somehow I did, okay. Give me one little second. Oh, there it is. Jill is, I'm going to, again, let Jill kind of introduce herself and share a little bit more. Some of you have already met Jill several times over the last years. But Jill is our coordinator who's in charge of aquatics and fitness. And so we're super excited to have her here today with us.
Thank you, Jill. Is this homework?
I know.
Gifts, gifts.
Gifts.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got.
When Jamie's not here, people are so disappointed in me.
Okay, that means we've got to get over to the
Perfect.
aquatic center.
I'll explain the bags. Do I need to use the mic? I have a lifeguard voice, and I have to, okay. So I apologize if I'm shouting, but I generally use my lifeguard voice for things, so, are we just arrowing? I'm not a tech person, so this can be, or just space bar, mouse? Oh, there we go, okay. So yes, welcome. I'm Jill Ruott. I am the recreation coordinator for aquatics and fitness. Established 2005, that is when I moved here, and that's when I started working for this amazing city. A little background myself. So I received my lifeguard and swim instructor certifications back in 1997. I was attending Moorhead State University in Moorhead, Minnesota, and we had just gotten a women's swim team, but because of how long I was already in school, I wasn't eligible. So I said, well, if I can't swim, I'm gonna go teach kids how to swim. So I started working at the local YMCA, got some aquatic exercise certs as well, and taught there for many years. In '99, then I graduated from Moorhead State with an exercise science degree. Not sure what I wanted to really do with that, but I started working in outpatient physical therapy. And what I really loved was actually the opportunity to get in the water and do aquatic therapy with our patients. And that kind of sparked maybe this is the direction I'm gonna go in life. But that didn't happen, because then in 2005, I moved down here, took a job as a seasonal assistant pool manager, thinking I don't want a lifetime career of being a lifeguard, but why not? Maybe this is a foot in the door for a new career angle, and here we are. So went from assistant pool manager to then senior rec leader, because that September the Multi-Generational Center opened, and I was able to work there in the fitness center, so then combining my passion of aquatics and fitness together. And then in 2009 became the recreation assistant for fitness and aquatics, and now here we are as recreation coordinator. So those have been my two passions ever since college, and I'm super excited to see how those melded together, and it's worked out wonderfully. So, what do I do? Aquatics. So this is the biggest program area for me, and staffing right now, I have one full-time recreation assistant. Currently, I have 42 lifeguards and swim instructors. 13 of those staff are swim instructors. And last year, we did a pilot of bringing on lifeguards year-round to help with some events and rentals that happened after our season ended.
This is about full staff for us, but with their availability and whatnot is why our pool isn't 100% open. So we're just about full staff. We've had upwards to 48 staff. We've had as little as 20 staff when we were back in the COVID year. So it is a good, healthy staff. We have a lot of young 15 and 16-year-olds this year. Not too many of the senior, older staff are around anymore. But
Hey, Joe, how are you doing as far as dependability with your staff?
dependability,
Yeah.
they've grown really wonderfully. So we've done a lot of extra training with those young staff in the last month. We've kind of, not double booked, but kind of doubled up our scheduling so that they are doing a lot more shadowing with some of our return staff and really honing in on their skills. So they have improved greatly since day one.
If I could just add and remind you, so Jamie had shared back in May when we kind of knew the staff they were going to have. Again, fabulous team of young people. They're just inexperienced. So those were some of the decisions that I think Jill took us through of how to operate a safe facility. And really, we need them because the only way we're going to grow is if this team stays with us next year. And so Jill's done a fabulous job of making that a priority.
I was wondering too, just do they show up every day as part of the dependability? 'Cause
They do. We have a very good staff. Other than, they all have vacations planned. And they all have, a lot of them, they're smart kids. They're taking summer school or they're in sports and those kind of things. But they are doing a really good job of coming to work. I do hear from a lot of my colleagues around the country that have issues of staff ghosting or just not showing up, like you say. And I'm very fortunate that our staff want to come to work, and they do, and I don't have those kind of issues. Or they get hired and then they disappear. We have not had those issues, so I'm grateful for that.
Oh, it tends to say something about leadership too.
Oh, thank you. We do have good leaders. I'll take credit for that. It does definitely help who you work for, and it's top down, from Liz on down. So yeah, that is a good compliment to our director and our staffing. So another big area, we also have our junior lifeguards. So currently we have 29. They are volunteers ages 11 to 14. 1 year, I kind of mistakenly had 40 junior lifeguards. And that's a lot of youngsters to manage, plus then the 48 or so actual staff. So I said, nope, I'm not doing that again. That was too many. There gets to be a point where there's too many. This 30 is a good a number to manage. And we really feed off of our junior lifeguards. So we go through trainings with them as well. They kind of learn some of the basic lifeguard skills, requirements for getting into lifeguard class, the time that they put in with us. Then we used to do a credit system where they could earn those credits and use that to pay for the lifeguard class. And now we've kind of shifted gears this year, and we are tracking their time and their hours that they're working. And then if they meet 80% of their scheduled shifts for the summer, they will be eligible to take our lifeguard training class, should they be old enough next spring. In the past, it went back to 2010, so in the past 12 years, we've hired over 45 of our junior lifeguards. 3 of those, they junior guard in 2012, and they are still with us today, and they're on our leadership team. So 10 years, and these are for kids who are not planning on a career in Parks and Rec, but because of the leadership and the camaraderie and the familyness of the job, and just the benefits of being a lifeguard and a swim instructor, and now getting them into leadership roles, they keep coming back to us. So that's really amazing. And we average probably about 2,500 volunteer hours per season, minus the last 2 years, of course, just with COVID and whatnot. But so that's a lot of good volunteer hours that are happening. Programs. So Open Swim. Currently, again, we're open Thursdays through Sundays. Again, that is due to some of the availability of the staffing and whatnots. We offer swim lessons. We average probably 300 to 500 kids that get a swim lesson every season. So that's amazing. Water safety is huge, especially here in Arizona. We are one of the top states for drownings. So drowning prevention is key component, especially in our community and some of those lower income areas. Kids don't always have access to pools, but they might go to a friend's house or they might go to a lake or a river, and they need to know how to self-rescue and have some of those basic swim skills. So that is what we are teaching them. We start them as young as 6 months old. Just FYI. Reading WaterX. We offer 3 different styles of WaterX classes, water aerobics, water tone and sculpt, and an aqua Zumba class. Those are all very popular, and they fill up very fast every season. And part of that is due to some amazing instructors that we have that come back every year to teach for us as well. Lap swim is gaining popularity. It's been a slow start, but we do continue to offer it because we do have some regulars that really just enjoy coming and getting those early morning swims in either before work or they're retired and they just like to get up early before it gets hot and get that outdoor workout in. And then we added Read and Rec poolside last year. So one of JJ's programs that he works closely with the library is Read and Rec, where they go to the parks and do a book and an activity. And I said, well, you guys take the summer off. Why don't you come to the pool? So I still work with the library, and they bring a book. We try to make it somewhat aquatic related or whatnot. And then some of my instructors and lifeguards, then we get in the water and we play with the kids. So this is for our 5 and unders and their parents. It's just a nice little morning of a story and then some guided activity and then kind of free play for them in the pool. So that's been fun and really well attended as well. Events, some big events that we have at the pool. Our biggest one is April Pools Day. That happens before our open swim and kind of the season starts. It is our big free water safety day. We partner with Superstition Fire and Medical and the police department and to provide all kinds of water safety activities, everything from sun safety, boating safety, life jacket safety, learning CPR. It's not just the hands only. When it comes to aquatics, we have to learn how to give breaths. So showing parents, we get kids, we get 2, 3, 4, 5-year-olds on a mannequin and just show them how to start pushing on the chest. And then our PD, often they teach us about teaching the kids how to call 911, and just knowing these kids have these phones. They're probably better at using the phones than some of us, right? And getting kids to know their address. You'd be surprised how many kids these days do not know their address. So we go through all those are great aspects of water safety, and so that is our April Pools Day. Fit Family Pool Night's kind of our kickoff to the summer. It's a free night just for families to come to the pool. We do some planned activities with them. Itty Bitty Beach Party, which we just had in June, is for our 6 and unders to come, and they get to play at the pool without having the teenagers there, which is nice. And that's always well attended. I think we had close to, 150 this year, which is one of our smaller years. We've had up to 250, 300 for that event. But again, it's a good number, and I was very happy with it, and the kids have a wonderful time. So, Teen Night, which is coming up, knock on wood. It's always been in July, and probably in the last 10, 12 years, we've had to cancel it 5, 6 times because monsoon always comes in, and so we're doing the anti-rain dance for July 22nd this year. We bring out a DJ for that night. It's literally just 13 to 17-year-olds, and we plan some fun activities for those kids out there. New to the pool in the last couple years is the dive-in movies. We got our beautiful big blow-up movie screen, and wonderful Jamie says, why don't you kick it off at the pool one night? Brand new screen, never been blown up. Let's take it to the pool where it's monsoon and metal fencing. But it went off just fine. We found a perfect spot for it. and had a dive-in movie, and we had almost like 200 some people there. So it was super fun. It was amazing. So last year we offered it 2 movies, and this year we'll be offering 2 movies again. We do it in August and September at the pool, so that's a lot of fun. Pool rentals, we do public pool rentals on the weekends, so the community members can have birthday parties. We've seen baptisms. We've seen all kinds of different things happening at the pool, so that's fun. And then we also started renting to swim teams the past couple of years as well. And then I just threw in training, so our lifeguards are certified through the American Red Cross, and our instructors are certified through our Starfish Swim School, which we just made that transition this spring. We were with Red Cross for swim instructors as well, but we are really liking the Starfish Swim School curriculum. Again, it is very heavy based on self-rescue, which is amazing, and all of my staff have really just wrapped their arms around it and really like it, and I think the community has too. I don't think I've heard really one complaint from parents as to what is this shift about? What is this difference? Why did you do this? It's more, this is different. And then when we explain kind of some of the differences and the why behind things, they're all for it. So a couple little miscellaneous. So people really think that aquatic season is only May through August. It's not, and like Dave can attest to, I mean, they have to do maintenance on the pool year-round, even though it's not programmed year-round, but for me, it is year-round. By the time we end open swim in August, then we continue with some Water X and lap swim teams. Come October, we're doing wrap-up. Come January, we're already planning to hire, and then we start training and doing certifications in March. So it's really a year-round program, even though the community just sees it as May through August. So, and then a couple professional organizations that we're involved in is Drowning Prevention Coalition of Arizona. I sit on that, and the Association of Aquatic Professionals. We gather a lot of great information from these 2 organizations, and they, like the DPCA, will be represented at April Pools Day. They'll have a table as well. So, moving to fitness. Another big area, so programs for fitness. We do a variety of them, one of them being a homeschool fitness class for those who are homeschooled, kind of act as that PE class for them to come to the rec center. We do a variety of activities with them. Anything goes with that class. My Park My Gym, we created out of COVID when we couldn't be in the multi-gen center, people couldn't work out. So we got the fitness team together and said, how can we do fitness outside? What can we create for people? And this was a great way to showcase our fabulous parks, as well as get people to work out outside and educate them on how they could use their resources to still be active even during a time when buildings were shut down. And we've done that 2 years in a row now. Girls on the Run is a national program that we partner. It's a curriculum-based program for girls in elementary school and junior high. It's not necessarily a running program, but it's more focused on just growing strong girls, and then the running is kind of the side part of it. We're learning how to make goals and reach goals, and we end with a beautiful 5K and celebrate all the girls. And we've been doing that since 2013. Was our first team with them. Trail walks we do. This was just a free thing. Again, getting people outdoors, checking out. You'd be surprised how many people don't know about the beautiful trails right out our back door. And so our trail walks we do on a Friday morning, kind of January through March-ish. And I love leading them. It's more of our senior age population, but it's open to anybody, and it's just fun to get out in the morning, do a little 2-mile walk out in the desert, chit-chat a little bit, and watch the coyotes run across the trail. And we've had some speakers after that as well. And we do some member challenges at the rec center as well. We've done a triathlon challenge, just some different things over the years. Events. One of our biggest events for fitness is our Pretty in Pink dance party. It is a hour-and-a-half long Zumba dance party. One of my Zumba instructors came to me a few years ago and said, hey, let's do this party and let's raise some money for breast cancer awareness. Let's do it in October. I was like, okay. So we talked to the Friends of AJ and how can we take donations. So this fall will be our 8th annual, and in the last 7 years, we have raised and donated over $8,500 to breast cancer awareness. We gather raffle items from community members. Each year, we have close to $2,000 worth of raffle items, so folks can go home with something. It's just a super fun morning, lots of pink at the rec center. It is in October, so we always have to figure out how to incorporate pink into Halloween in our decorating, but we make it work. Mud Run, which I'm sure Larry probably talked about maybe last month. That's one of our big events out at Prospector Park. Fall into Fitness Trail Run, that coincides with our wellness event. It takes place out on our trails out here as well. Trails and Tails 5K, I'm super excited about this one. It was just a 5K, and not was just, but it was a 5K in January up at Prospector Park. It was free. Some years well attended, some years not. And you know, a lot of our events through Parks and Rec are not dog friendly, but we have a lot of people in our community who want to bring their dogs to events. And so I've been thinking about it. I thought, you know, I want to change our 5K to be a dog friendly event. And this past year with the dog park being built and whatnot, it was kind of the perfect year to transition it. And we had about 25 dogs in attendance for our 5K. We even created a little obstacle course for them to do afterwards, gave them little pup cups of whipped cream, and it was a lot of fun, and it was good to see people come out with their dogs to the 5K. And then we also partner again with the Lost Dutchman Marathon, and our fitness team helps oversee the 2-mile fun run that they do before the big marathon. And group fitness. So currently I have 20 contracted instructors that teach a variety of group fitness classes for us at the rec center, anything from yoga, tai chi, Zumba, HIIT classes, silver sneaker classes. We have a whole variety. We offer over 40 classes each month. Little miscellaneous. I'm not huge into numbers. I know some people are, but with group fitness, it's hard to compare. You can't really compare, 2020, 2021 to now because we weren't open. So I went back to 1819, and in 2,394 classes, we averaged 2,400 participants. And currently this year, we only offered 2,027 classes and only averaged 1,300. So I think people are still I kind of cringe when I see that, but people are still kind of coming back, I think, to indoor exercise, indoor places, wanting to be in small spaces. A lot of people in the last couple of years turned their homes into gyms, or there's so much online right now, and so we really have to work hard to re-invite all those folks to come back to the center. And we have amazing instructors that have great followings, so I anticipate those numbers, again, boosting and getting better even this year. New equipment coming. Larry might have touched on that. Maybe you didn't know when he was here last month, so I'm not going to say a whole lot on it, but we were approved to purchase some new equipment for the fitness center over at the Multi-Gen Center, so there will be some updates coming up in the upcoming months. I'm also an employee wellness ambassador for the city employee wellness program. We do internal employee challenges as well as provide information and assistance with ASMAT, our insurance company, with preventative health screenings. And who doesn't like some pictures? I had to throw in some awesome pictures from programs and events, so that's our beautiful. We always see beautiful, bright pictures. I noticed Dave had a an evening one too that was taken. We get some really awesome sunrises and sunsets at the pool. So I just thought I'd throw in some different program pictures. Love just seeing all the smiles at the pool. A bunch of our junior guards. Do a lot of training with our staff, keep them up to date on stuff. We just had July 4th on Monday, obviously at the pool as well, and had 5 teams show up for our free volleyball tournament. Always promoting water safety at the pool. One of the best pictures ever. Right? And then some fitness programming pictures as well. From kids programming, did some fitness in the park. We offered some free yoga out at Flatiron. Some of our runs. Fitness does not have to be inside. It was such a beautiful landscape. And
Do you do Tai Chi outside also, or is it all indoors?
it's generally indoors. Our Tai Chi instructor this last winter did take her class out on the patio, just because she wanted to be able to spread out a little bit more, and for that comfort level for folks who didn't want to, be too close to an indoor area. And they did do it right on the back patio here, so the beautiful, views of the mountains and the sun. Let's see, she was in the morning, so yeah. We wear a lot of hats in Parks and Rec, and as I was going through our pictures, I realized we like to dress up for stuff. We are constantly dressing up. But my passion for aquatics and fitness, I think they fit really perfect together, and has brought a lot of opportunities, a lot of growth here in AJ, and it's been an amazing 17 years. Any questions?
Any questions?
I do have a question. So, over in the pool area, how many feet is the deep end?
Where the dive tank is?
Yes.
12 feet.
I will not be going
Just
over
curious.
there.
Yeah, as you can see, Jill's super passionate. We're really, really lucky to have Jill. She's a great friend and just somebody who brings a ton to our department and to the community, and we've just been fortunate to have her all these years. So thank you so much,
Yeah,
Jill.
thank you. Thank you.
Well,
So that kind of wraps up for us. You guys had asked a while back ago, you wanted to start getting introduced to our staff, and so we've been able to bring quite a few people through. We have a few more to go to end off the summer, but we have a fabulous team, and we're really proud of them. And that concludes the staff report portion.
Staff report. Okay, we'll go to number 7, old business. We have a few items here, so Liz, please present what you have on this subject.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chairman Standage. So I'm going to go through them kind of quickly, and we'll talk about what you have left. This is all items that we've already discussed. And so today is really just an update time. This first one, though, we had talked last time. We had a discussion and consideration of dedicating the softball complex to former Parks and Recreation Director Jeff Bell, who passed away several years ago. Due to COVID, as we worked with his family to do something special, they just really weren't ready, and we wanted to have something where everybody could be invited. And so we really feel like now's the time, and this fall, we want to be able to dedicate the softball complex to Jeff, have a very large and nice dedication of the history of our park system and the history of Jeff and what he contributed to that. So we thought that'd be a great lasting tribute to him. And really the softball complex is something that was near and dear to his heart. Mary Bell and his wife and then his kids kind of had a choice of looking at some of the different areas and what did they want to have as a lasting memory for Jeff. And that was one that they really gravitated to. So we'll be doing something in November. And in the meantime, though, I do need to take to you guys, the way the policy reads is that you have to approve a portion of a park being dedicated. If it were a bench or a small something, we can do that on our own administratively and our staff. But to dedicate a facility or a major amenity requires a recommendation from the Parks and Recreation Commission, and then that goes to the city. Once that happens, then we take that to the city council and present it, and then they will vote to approve that before we can do it. So tonight, go ahead,
Well,
Frank.
can I go ahead and make a motion to that effect?
Yes, can I just share with you, I wanted to mention, I promised you guys that I would bring back today, and I just want to share a few minutes of, I know we had a little discussion last time that many of you felt that this isn't enough for the impact that Jeff had in our park system, and I totally agree. But as I went through and I researched all of the minutes from the meetings that were held with the commission and Jeff, unfortunately we didn't have video. I didn't think about that when we were talking about it. We weren't videoing and at that time our meetings, but I was able to go through a ton of minutes, and he started that conversation in March 2012 as we were considering naming the rodeo grounds after Gary Mulholland, and the policy at the time didn't allow for it to be named after somebody. It talked about hometown heroes and all kinds of things that left a lot to the decision. You know, they wanted to recognize them and had a hard way of doing that. So this went through council and through commission for many, many months. So March, all the meetings between March and November, and Chairman Standage, we were part of that commission, talked about, what do those things mean, and how do we say how impactful volunteerism is, and all of that. What I do see throughout it a lot is that Jeff really felt strongly that our opportunity to raise funds at our facilities by having naming rights to our rodeo grounds like other cities do, that helps to bring in revenue to be able to have amenities for our community. And so that was something that was important to him. In November of 2012, the Parks and Rec Commission recommended unanimously to implement the policy we have now, and then it was adopted at the May 7th, 2013 meeting. So then it took another 4 to 5 months of discussion and looking at the policy and making sure it was going to fit what everybody wanted. So as I said last time, and you guys I know were very agreeable, I would really love to go ahead and do this dedication part. And then if anybody feels strongly that we should really relook at the policy itself, I'm happy to bring it back if you also direct me to do so. But in the meantime, as Commissioner Shanebeck mentioned, yes, that's the rest of my report. And if you guys are ready to make a motion, you certainly can, or have discussion.
Liz, through the years, as I've come on the commission and then worked with Jeff, he's responsible for that whole area up there.
Right.
He got the rodeo grounds built. He's got the ball fields, the tennis courts. He's just major on a lot
For
of
sure.
this stuff.
Yep.
And naming the ballpark for him, he was proud of that. I know that. There's
Right.
all kinds of events through the year that take a place at those 4 ball
That's
fields.
a great point. Yeah, for
I'll
sure.
see the signs. All right, so Chairman Standage,
Yes, sir.
I move that the Park and Recreation Committee approve the dedication of the Prospector Park Softball Complex in memory of former Parks and Recreation Director Jeff Bell.
I'll second that.
I thought.
Okay, you got that, Carol? We got 3
I
of
do.
them. Okay, we got first. Carol, may I have a roll call vote when you're ready?
Sure. Commissioner Heather Muller is excused. Commissioner Terrell Moore,
Yes.
Vice Chair Judy Bory,
Yes.
Commissioner D.L. Kine,
Yes.
Commissioner Luciano Bootson,
Yes.
Commissioner Frank Shanebeck,
Yes?
Chairman Wayne Standage.
Yes.
Thank you. It's unanimous.
Great. So I will be getting that on the soonest agenda that I can, and I will report back once we know more on that. Okay? So my next item under there, the discussion regarding community engagement options for new housing development. So I just wanted to say thank you for bringing that idea up. Our city manager and Al Bravo in our PIO's office really are excited about that. So Al had already kind of been tasked with, Al Bravo, so he's our public information officer, was already tasked with working with our down south developers on what we're going to be incorporating. And so when I shared that, we have the comment that we have a lot going on right now and a lot of new families coming in. This is a great opportunity to practice that and to kind of perfect a welcome wagon. I don't know what the right word is, but they're definitely 100% on board and already thinking about how all the departments can contribute to whatever that is. Al is setting up time with me and Jamie. Matt McNulty had already been working on some really fabulous infographics with our economic development director. And so there's a lot of things that were kind of in the work, and I think this was just a great thing to bring us all together, that we're all looking for the same thing. So right now, the development services team has given Al the contacts of all of the home, I'm going to say it wrong, the home builders or whoever's selling the homes. And then we'll be scheduling meetings with them to kind of talk about what they're willing to let us do early on, passing out as people buy homes or move in, whatever that looks like. And then Al does have a budget this year for some swag and other things that we want to do to promote our city. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. I don't know if there's any other thoughts right now, and I'm happy to bring back once that kind of packet is put together, and we'll share with you what that looks like. But definitely Parks and Rec, the library, and then all of our other great city services will be a part of that. Shop local, all of those types of things that we want the community to know about when they get here. Definitely, they really are supportive of that.
Thank you.
Liz, what about real estate agents too? Because
Yeah, great idea.
Because they would know of somebody else moving into the area.
So not with like a whole new development, but plenty of people are moving into the area. So
Right.
absolutely, we'll put that on our radar.
Now, Liz,
Yes?
maybe we want to review the naming process, because they may want to name some of their parks certain names before,
The parks down south?
Yes.
We'll talk, you know what, we'll talk about that a little bit more when we get to that agenda item. I just have a quick thing on that, and we can definitely share that more too. Anything else on that little update? Okay, thank you. And Frank, just, is that kind of what you had in
Yeah.
mind?
I
And
was just curious if anything's going on.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's this golden opportunity two ways. We've got these smaller ones to practice on before
Right.
the big show starts down south. Let's
Yeah.
get our game together and get these people coming to Apache
Definitely.
Junction instead of getting on the freeway and going somewhere else.
Okay.
That's what it's really all about.
Now, Liz, are you guys meeting with them about maybe a second MGC down in that area?
so we'll talk a little bit about the public parks in the south, everything in the south here when we get to that agenda item.
All right.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
I know it's very exciting. And so the last item under old business, update and discussion regarding the community survey questions for the Parks and Rec strategic plan. Those of you who saw your emails, we did share that with you a little ahead of time of the 4th of July, so you could kind of experiment with taking that. Do you have any feedback right now? So we're not in a part now where we can change it, but maybe even just a little feedback on your experience with it, if you had any, or have thoughts for us.
Super easy.
Cool. And then I'm going to turn it over to Jamie, and she's just going to share really briefly how we're kicking that off this week, because everything kind of rolls out this week, and then kind of what our process is, and then we'll answer any questions and see what else you want to learn about that.
So as Liz mentioned, you guys had an opportunity to see it before everyone else did. We may or may not have, if you had feedback, changed it, but it's live now, so it is what it is. It's perfect timing, being that it is National Parks and Recreation Month, that we're kicking it off with asking our community what they think of us. We have shared it at 4th of July, but we were very busy having a big, huge event, so that wasn't our big concern. But we will be sharing it. We will have a whole list, and I can bring that list with you at our next meeting, because we will be actively seeking input in so many different ways. And we will be down at the chamber, we'll be at the library, we'll be working with local businesses, our schools, we will be doing social media, print media, we will smoke signal it, we don't just want our users, we want to also get to the non-users, because that feedback is almost more vital. Once we have established and we're starting to get some responses and some feedback, when we think that we have enough viable information, we might start to also look at forming some of those focus groups to do and answer some of whatever we get back. What are people loving? What are we missing out on? And how do we meet that need through actual face-to-face conversations with users, non-users, whatnot. I'm trying to keep this short, but like I said, I will give you guys a listing of where we're going to be, what we're going to be working on, and how we're going to get it out there. And then by all means, you will be able to respond back. Riley's going to head up this team. You guys will be able to give us feedback on where are we missing, or where do you guys see other opportunities that we can get it out. But it's going to start with you, right? So I gave you homework. It's pretty. It's got a bow on it. It's all wrapped up. I gave it to you. Your homework assignment is to get that out into the community. So if you work at the chamber and you get it out before we get our RAT cards, so we printed 1,000 RAT cards that we're going to be distributing that. We've got hard copies, we've got QR codes to make it easy for folks. But you guys are going to be our first advocates. Give it to your friends, the people that you work with. And then once we get into our fall event season, we're going to need you boots on the ground. When the weather is cooler, I know, but we're going to need you, helping to host our Parks and Rec tent, educating people know that we have parks, we'll have maps, we will have resources for you guys, along with pushing out this survey and helping us get that feedback. Again, you'll get a list of that and all the events that we need your help at, but that's a little bit premature. But the survey is out, it is live. And we'll get that information out to you guys. But start helping working on it. It's your homework. Questions?
I was kind of hoping for a red ribbon.
Judy says sign. Well, like I said, you've got a good chunk. And if you need more, then email Carol and we'll get you guys some more surveys if you guys need some more.
Frank wants a red ribbon.
I want a red ribbon.
You guys can trade. It's like chips in your bag.
Nobody
If you don't like
got
the
a
chips,
red
you got
ribbon,
trade.
Frank. Nobody got red, so
I have really
note to self, red is Frank's favorite color.
Well, really, it's blue, but.
And then just schedule-wise, our goal really is to do a big push here while we just have residents in. And there's a question, so we'll be able to divide them out to know their feedback. But we're going to do a big push through a lot of our resources here locally, the school district, a lot of different groups. And then as we want to hope to hit really those events that Jamie mentioned that are going to come up in the fall and end with our holiday event, because we'd really like to try to get most of this feedback to you guys by the end of the year, or at least be able to wrap it up. We have talked about, we know that Lost Dutchman Days brings a lot of visitors and it's a great opportunity also, but it's later February. And we really want to start wrapping up our strategic plan so that way we can be ready for some of the new things that are happening. So we just wanted to share that. Any last questions for now? You'll hear this every month. All right, thank you very much. That concludes that part.
Okay,
I do have to.
we've got new business, Liz. Could
So-
you present this, please?
Yeah, so this is, again, it'll be kind of a quick run through some slides for our down south areas. I wanted to share that with you. We had shared previously the retained and the auction property when that first sold at a previous meeting. And I just wanted to skim through that quickly and then show you some of the conceptual images of the parks that are going to be down there that are actually public parks. And I thought in all my haste to open up 18 different power presentations, I forgot this one. Give me just a quick minute.
Well, at least you know how to work this. I don't.
Most of the time I do. Okay, there we go. Oh, and Matt told me not to open it that way. Hold on. Darn you,
Don't get in trouble with Matt.
I know.
Oh,
If he has to come out here.
He can do things
Eh,
with
He's,
Photoshop.
he's fixing it for me right now.
He's working behind.
Sorry, Matt.
Thanks, Matt.
Oh, and I already had it open, and I could have just done it that way. Okay.
Surprised we didn't hear him yelling for the.
I know. Stop touching it, Liz. Okay, so I'm just gonna quickly remind you of where we're at, is the main purpose of these slides. So, this is the whole site, everything in orange of the state land that is even being considered. All the rest of this is all of Superstition Vistas, which is a regional planning area, here in Pinal County, a little bit of mostly Pinal County.
But it's all still.
All
state
that is
land
still,
right now.
yeah, it's all, no plans for it right now.
Except the small part you just
Right.
brought up.
So that little orange triangle in the very top of the last slide is this one right here, and you can kind of see the boundaries of it. Our old city limits went to here, and now we have included all this rest of this into our city limits. All of this is the retained portion that the state is holding on to, but it had to be planned at the same time as the auction portion by the developers. The developers purchased this square right here. D.R. Horton and Brookfield went in on that together. D.R. Horton has the west half, and Brookfield has the east half. And so this is approximately Elliott to Ray, and I just lost Meridian to Idaho. Yes, yes. And then Ironwood is the dividing line there. This is the D.R. Horton side. So this is the part that's on the west side. So this is Ironwood and everything west. And it's just a little bubble map of where they plan to have some of their different parks. Orange is kind of like commercial centers. So that's where the main commercial is going to be, on the corner of Ironwood at both major intersections. And we don't have a public park in this facility until we get to the last phase of the development. So D.R. Horton, they're building, starting on this side. Everything that is happening is a regular HOA park. It's not like they have gates or anything like that. People can use them, but it's not one that is going to be under our park system until the very final phase, which is probably about 6 or 7 years out that we'd be talking about that.
So maintenance will be done by them until a certain
I will,
time?
so let me explain that. So again, on D.R. Horton side, we're doing nothing right now until the very end. When we do have that one park, as of right now, the plan is that we will maintain our public park on the D.R. Horton side. Put that out of your mind now and only think about what I'm telling you about Brookfield. So the Brookfield side, the side that's on the east of Ironwood, is doing things a little differently. So they think Eastmark. They are the ones who developed Eastmark and Mesa. They're developing right now in Avondale an amazing place, Alomar, I think is what it's called. They also are starting here on the south end. So both builders are starting down here. Brookfield's first park and part of their trail system is starting now. They want that in by the time they start selling houses. To them, their main featured parks are part of their selling element. And so is D.R. Horton. They're just doing it on their own. These 3 big wheels here are public parks. They're probably about anywhere from 10 to 20 acres. So think like, so Flatiron's about 3.5 acres. So about a few times bigger than Flatiron. Superstition Shadows Park, where the pool's at, is about 20 acres. So that kind of gives you an idea of what size. They're not, huge like Prospector, but they're good little, good community-sized parks. This is the first one that's happening. They intend for it to open in September of 2023. Maybe. I can't imagine, but all these folks do things different. And so we are definitely planning for that right now. The intent of this area is that they also have a lot of private parks. And you can see that some of the orange is in the middle of these parks. That doesn't mean that it's right in the middle, but what they're saying is that these regional sections are going to have a little bit of private, a little bit of public, a little bit of commercial. It's going to have a little variety of stuff. The other components that they have all these linear parks. So this is their spine road. Blossom Rock is the name of this community. Reverence is the name of the D.R. Horton. Sorry, I forgot to say that. So Blossom Rock is the community of Brookfield, and this is Blossom Rock Trail or Linear Park or something like that. Additionally, they have a linear park on Ironwood, and it's going to be a lot of, some of it's desert vegetation, but there will be some grass, and there will be areas for retention and trail usage. It's going to be big enough to actually do activities and have a walking path all throughout that.
And,
That'll be good.
and none of it's on the canal or,
Not
No.
yet. So
It's,
here in a minute, I'm going to have a slide, and I'm going to show you where the canal and everything is in relationship to that. So open space character, this just kind of gives you an idea of what some of the landscaping is going to look like. So there'll still be a lot of desert vegetation, but there will be little areas of grass. Here's the Trails Master Plan. So again, if we're looking at so this is the Brookfield side, and there's that spine road that's going through there. The CAP trail that we've been talking about is over here. It's not even touching the property yet. But remember that all of this is retained property. So someday when that starts to develop, then they are responsible for helping to connect to the CAP trail. Here is just a conceptual drawing of that first park that they're looking at. So there will be a lake at every park. The lake serves multiple purposes. It'll be there for a recreational and an aesthetic purpose, but it's also serving as a retention and a recharge pond. So all of the sewer district, the water district, and the developers are working together so that all irrigation of landscape is going to be coming off of recharged sewer.
Right.
And all of that gets held in a lake, and then it's pumped back out into all of the irrigation lines. So it's a great conservation tool. It is definitely something that, you know, we will be learning and learning about, but it's definitely a great concept, especially as people worry about water and all of that. This is a great feature. So each one will have a lake. This first one is not going to be a fishing lake, is what I'm being told. But it will have a walking path and loops all around that you can enjoy all of this area. The private part, they will be responsible for the, well, let me take that back. This pool area, like their swimming pool, is all in their private HOA section. And again, all of this will blend really nicely, seamlessly between the public areas, and then there'll just be access gates for the private areas like any other community. So right now in this plan, we don't have a pool or anything like that. This is a major adventure playground that is a public park that'll have all kinds of neat features. And then this entire open area is a great space for food trucks and other types of neat events. So that's kind of what the general plan is for this side. On this side, they are planning a dog park. I shared that with you guys a while back ago. In the beginning, I felt a little bit worried about that, but I really feel like they're on completely opposite ends of the community. This park is about the size of our dog park, maybe a little bit bigger, but their intent is to have 3. We've shared with them that we really like having the 3 areas. So this will have a dog park as well as another playground area. Courts of some kind will be going in here. Ramadas, restrooms, all kinds of other amenities are in this side of the park as well.
Liz, I can
Yes.
see their dog park down there because you got a lot of people that are going to be coming.
Yeah, and I mean, we're really packed in the mornings and stuff with
Up
just
here.
our residents, and it's not even winter visitor season yet. So the other part is our linear park. So here again is the main park that is in that drawing that I just shared with you, and then the linear park is kind of like a median in between alongside of the streetscape, and there'll be a lot of usage on those. Again, just kind of some of the characters. So there will be grass in areas, but they're also going to use a lot of natural landscaping and a lot of natural vegetation as well. So they have a really great design team. We're looking forward to it. You mentioned naming. So because it's part of a master planned community, they do have the ability, and as part of our naming rights, planning on names during the design phase, they have the ability, they will be naming some of that, and we'll have a say in some of that, but that isn't something that will come to the next, won't be coming to get permission. And it probably will not be of people's names. It will be more of things that mean something to that area. Any other questions? Oh, and one of the other things, so our strategic plan is super important. We've been sharing the other things that our community is asking for. More pickleball courts, real, life-size big splash pads, splash aquatic center parks. Our pool is really very expensive to operate, and it's only, we can only operate a certain amount of the year. And so is that the way we want to use our resources? Maybe not. Having our pool and then they operate community pools, that might be the way to go. I don't know yet what's going to happen with that. But we are definitely taking what we're hearing the most in the community, and we will ensure that out of those 3 parks, some of those things are being incorporated into each one of them. They will all be a little bit different and have different amenities, but they will all have a lake in them. Yes?
When you mentioned pickleball, is that still growing like it was?
Yes. As we talk
Compared
about,
to- compared
yes,
to 10?
absolutely. So as we talked about our survey for the strategic plan, obviously those of you that took it know it's some really general questions. As Jamie mentioned, as we get some of that feedback, we will be having focus groups. We already have a very big group of folks, both pickleball group folks, equestrian groups, a lot of really passionate groups that will be coming down and drilling down what it is that they'd like to see, and incorporating them into some of our decisions with these new parks. What else?
Anybody else?
Okay. Well, we just wanted to give you a little update as that is coming online, and we'll kind of keep you posted as we learn more and about timing on all of that.
Oh, it's all kind of torn up right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, is that all you've got for number 8?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I see some people out there. Do we have any public? Nobody wants to talk?
All right.
Okay, then I'll just pass on that. For the council, any future agenda items?
Yeah, I'd like to to talk about our next step. We did Flatiron, we did the dog park. What's next? And I had somebody present a suggestion to me that I hadn't thought of too. So if we could do that next meeting, just kick around some ideas of what big project do we want to take on next.
Keep in mind that's what the strategic plan is about. So we are going to hear we have our ideas of what we're hearing, but what truly is the next thing that people are interested in. We hear a lot of pickleball, we hear a lot of splash pad. And so I see those being incorporated somewhere in one of our facilities, but there's a lot of other ideas out there too, and so we'll definitely be bringing those. We do have a lot of potential sites for some different things, so we can definitely share that as well as trail projects. Okay?
Thank you.
So future.
Okay. Let's call to the future. Selection of meeting dates, times, location, and purpose. We have 6 p.m., August 3rd, 2022.
Chairman Standage.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
I move that the Park and Recreation Commission will hold a regular meeting on August 3rd, 2022 at 6 p.m. in the City Council chambers located at 300 East Superstition Boulevard.
Okay, do I have a second?
Got a second.
Okay, you've got that, Carol.
I do.
Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Certainly, sir. Commissioner Luciano Bootson,
Yes.
Commissioner Frank Shanebeck,
Yes.
Commissioner Heather Moeller is excused, Commissioner Terrell Moore,
Yes.
Vice Chair Judy Bory,
Yes.
Commissioner D.L. Kine,
Yes.
Chairman Wayne Standage.
Yes.
Thank you. It's unanimous. It passes.
Okay, I'll adjourn this meeting at 7:35 p.m. this date. Hey.